things grow when they expire. But today, Dan Kohler is revealing the truth behind food expirations. And what I really want to know is, does food really go bad like the day after it says the expiration?
My kids will look at milk and they won't touch it. They will, but Dad, no, I'm not drinking it. I'm like,
so here's the thing to know straight off the bat. Expiration dates are not regulated by the FDA. They were sort of invented in 1974 is when we started using them. And they vary state by state, and they vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. They're actually based on optimal flavor point. They have nothing to do realistically with how safe your food is. So knowing when your food is safe is kind of a different science.
Well, let's start with eggs first.
Let's start with eggs. So eggs actually stay well quite a long time. You can have them 3 to 5 weeks after you bring them home. They're still good. And we've got a picture of this. Inside an egg, there's a little air pocket. You see that right at the bottom there. Now that pocket is there for a potential developing chick to breathe. As an egg gets older, that air pocket's going to grow. So a fresh egg will sink to the bottom because the air pocket's not so big yet. But the older your egg is, the more air inside. So if you float an egg, it's an old egg.
all right.
You know what that little squiggly thing is called?
Caleza.
Caleza.
Wait, I have a question. Hold on. Enough with the high five. I got a question. You said this regulates change from state to state.
Indeed.
So my question, how are chickens different in Arkansas than Idaho?
Oh, Mark, that's a different segment altogether.
Okay, well, I mean, I can understand food, but I'm like, I don't understand how it could not be the same.
Well,
anyway.
the thing that we really need to look at, too, the words change. Sometimes we see sell by or use by or expiration date, and those actually mean different things. So a sell by tells the grocery store when they need to actually get rid of that product, and that's by the manufacturer's suggestion. Use by tells you at home when the optimal flavor peak is. And expiration date tends to tell you when it's spoiled, but actually there's some wiggle room there.
How much wiggle room?
Well, like I said, these can be 3 to 5 weeks from the time you bring them home. Mark, you've got a question.
Well, I was just going to ask you to not make me feel so bad when I say how much do I throw away and shouldn't.
Yeah, so this is really important. We actually waste about 40% of the food that we make in America every year. And that's a lot of that has to do with this sell by date. Grocery stores have to get rid of food by those dates, whether or not it has spoiled, because the manufacturer wants high turnover. Now, when it comes to something like milk at home, about 2/3 of us are needlessly throwing away 1/4 of a gallon of milk every month. Because I think you asked at the beginning of the segment, does milk go bad the instant that date comes up on the calendar? It doesn't. If it tasted good yesterday and it smelled good yesterday, but the date says today it's gone bad, use your nose. Your nose knows.
Yeah, smelling.
Now,
does food lose nutritional value, though, as it gets older?
Absolutely. Sometimes we're losing some nutritional value. And in fact, the only expiration date that the FDA does regulate has to do with baby formula, and it's specifically because of the amount of nutrition that is available to your baby. But most of the time, keeping your food good is all about where you're storing it. So let's talk about milk and yogurt right now, okay? If you're bringing this home and you go to your grocery store, or you go to your refrigerator, inside the refrigerator, doesn't this look like a convenient place to put your milk, right? Yeah. It's a great shape. Well, actually, on the door is statistically one of the warmest places in your refrigerator. This is absolutely the wrong place to keep your milk.
Where do you put it?
What you want to do, the coldest place in your refrigerator is in the back on the bottom shelf, because cold air is going to sink. So you want to keep your milk down there. Now again, if you have a refrigerator, we don't here, but if you've got a refrigerator that has a big light bulb right here at the top, every time you open that door, the light goes on and it heats things up 1 to 2 degrees right around that. So if we're keeping our little yogurt cups up here, because that shelf is very short, it seems convenient. Well, if it's right by that light bulb, the temperature is fluctuating 1 to 2 degrees every time you open it. That's going to cause spoilage much quicker than anything else.
Can I ask something about the milk, though? Because sometimes, even though you can still drink it, it tastes a little funky.
Well,
when it starts to taste.
So look at this. This is
that
actually
looks
the perfect
disgusting.
example.
That's gross.
So
That'll
this
kill
right
you.
here, you can see it actually has not reached its expiration date right now. But this is an example that I'm telling you, your nose and your eyes know more than the expiration date.
It's going to explode.
It's going to explode. It's highly pressurized. There's a ton of carbon dioxide in there right now.
Maybe you left that out, though.
Maybe I did just make a point.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I'll feed that to
I
my
have something
kids.
to ask you.
Look,
Please.
that's expiration date.
Is this just me, which I know you'll probably throw me under the bus, or I bet some viewers at home do. When you see the date, sometimes it's psychosomatic, like, oh, it is, and then I'll smell it and I'll be like, Yeah, it's bad. You know, and I know it really isn't, but
It is. Look, I'm telling you, and you've got to believe me on this. We almost invented expiration dates in the mid-'70s. They actually are not tied to food safety. So it is a psychosomatic thing that we have to get over. And I think you were saying
I smell it and taste it.
You smell it and taste it. And if it
I've
still
been
tastes
smelling
good,
and tasting milk for my kids for ages.
Star.
If I smell it,
You're a star.
my kids go,
That's
"What's
not
the
safe.
expiration?"
this
And I
is
taste
clearly
it,
not
and I
safe.
go,
But
"It
this
tastes fine."
is your eyes and your nose would tell you this
What's
is
in
not
there,
safe.
botulism? But no,
I know-
seriously, what-
No, not yet. Botulism won't be there.
My standard is when in doubt, throw it out.
It's a pretty good rule, but that causes a lot of waste. Now, when we get to dried goods like this, your pasta, your cereal, and rice especially,
find
these
bugs
things,
in them.
Yeah. So
Ew.
but realistically,
get those
if you
little
store
bugs from
these
the grocery
things well,
stores.
the expiration date is meaningless. You can keep these for years after the expiration date because there's no water in there, and water is the breeding ground for bacteria.
So dark, cool, dry place.
Dark,
is that
cool,
it?
dry place. You got it, Mark.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
what
everything.
causes those little weebles?
We're
They
gonna have
come
to-
home with you from the
That's
grocery store because they
Are
like
they
the
already
glue. They like the glue on the bottom of the cereal boxes. So they get in the grocery store and then they come home with you on a cereal box and
What
you innocently
grocery
buy.
store?
You never know. Good ones.
I'm not.
I gotta
Good
work with you
ones.
more
And
often.
then they infect your entire pantry
Wait,
from one
what
box
is
of cereal that you didn't know you were buying,
Right.
and then you have to throw everything away.
How about when you're cooking the pasta and then you see all the little black bugs go right to the
Oh my
That's so
God!
good. And your flour.
All right, there's not enough. You're going to come back. We got to talk about that because I know nothing about those black bugs.
All right, if you want more information, you can go to renegadekitchen.com or visit our Pinterest page. And don't eat any bugs out of your pasta box.
Love the glue in the bottom of that.
Well, we're going to come back to spend some time with Nat Geo Wild's pet talk expert, Dr. Tina Oliveri.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Tina Oliveri. Join us next. We're going to be talking about America's first ever pet talk show on Nat Geo Wild Pet Talk. We're going to be answering questions and we're going to talk about brushing your dog's teeth.